Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Julia here, and today I'm going to make this little card, creating a background using stencils and some really cool paint effects, so I'll just get on with it. So again, I'm using my fabulous stencil from Polkadoodles. This is the Great Outdoors, and I think, as I've said in the past, yeah, it came like that, and I have just chopped it for ease of use. In the last video I used this, but I used it as mountains, but today I'm going to use it as clouds, and I'm going to do a gradiated effect of different colours to create lots of different colours. So I'm going to start off with my Distress Oxide Picked Raspberry, and I'm just going to brush the colour onto there. Like so. Now I'm going to move it around because you get a much more realistic effect if you do that, because clouds don't come in any form of conformation at all. They're very random. Sometimes I think if you actually drew or painted clouds as you actually saw them, people wouldn't think they were realistic, because you get some amazing formations. So I'm just going to do that, move that along, and create my little background. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch from the picked raspberry, and I'm going to bring in my fertilised amber. I'm not going to bother cleaning my stencil, I very rarely do in all honesty. There will be a little bit of pick up from the colour, but in all honesty that'll be fine, because it'll actually give me a nice transition between the two colours. They'll kind of be almost like a gradiated effect between the two colours. And I'm just going to keep going down the card like that. And then finally I'm going to bring in a little bit of blue, you know, the traditional cloud colour. And I've gone for peacock feathers, and I'm just going to bring that in like that, and do a few at the bottom. Okay, and that's my sky that's going into different colours. Okay, now I'm going to take this part of the stencil. This has been designed as grass, but if you also turn it up that way you can have icicles or something like that. So it's a brilliant stamp set. I'm going to combine my Twisted Citron. This is just a normal distress ink. If you're using Daubers and things like that for your distress inks, I would recommend that you have separate ones for your traditional distress inks and your Distress Oxides. Your Distress Oxides have a chalk in them, and quite often the chalk content is what will stop things moving around on your card, so you might find that you'll not get the same blend if you're using the same tools to use both your oxides and your feather. They play nicely together on the card, but for your application purposes I tend to find that it's better, learned from experience because I don't tidy up an awful lot, that it's good to have two separate ones for that. Now I'm also just going into back in with the peacock feathers, and I'll probably put a little bit of the fertilised amber in as well. And again, this is just going to give the grass a far more realistic feel because we've got the shades and tones of it there. So I've got my blue and yellow, which makes green, and then the green that I started off with. And that's my little background completed. So it's so quick and easy. I'm just looking at the screen, and I've been recording for about 4 minutes, and I waffled for part of that, so you can see just how quickly that can be put together. Now I'm wanting to create my little arched tree, and I'm going to do that by doing some stamping. And for this I have got the tall and spiky stamps from the Posy Doodle range of Polkadoodles, and I'm going to take this branch here. Now what I did was I have manipulated the stamp a little bit and to create an arch. Oh, I've just realised I'm not on screen, sorry. Okay, so I take the stamp and I'm just going to manipulate that round and create that bend. They are such good quality stamps, you will not destroy your stamps by doing that, but sometimes by seeing your stamps in slightly different shapes like that, you will you know, you get more use out of them. I like to see I like to see what I can do with my stamps. I kind of start off going, yeah, that's nice, and then how can I change it? What else can I do with it? And when you get good quality stamps like this that you can just shape a little, it just opens up some more opportunities. So I want to create this tree that's going to frame my little giraffe. Isn't he gorgeous? I love him. So I'm just going to take this here and stamp it a few different times. As I said, just to kind of create this tree. Almost made a complete mess there. Right, so that will go for that. That'll do me fine. Okay, so as you can see, I brought my paint palette across there, mostly because I've become very precious about this mat. I bought it purely for filming purposes, so that you can have a good filming experience. It's actually just a desk protector from IKEA, but yeah, I'm determined not to get it filthy. So I've put out some acrylic paints. What I have used is my Adirondack paints. I've had these forever, so they are a bit old and crusty now, and so definitely needing used up. I've got Sunshine Yellow, Raspberry and Sunset Orange, and then I've also got just some white acrylic paint, and that one is from Do Crafts there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint using cotton buds. So I've just grabbed some cotton buds, tied them together with an elastic band. As you can see, these have been used before, so I'm hoping that they still work. And I'm going to create the tree. So all I'm going to do is just dab it a little bit into the pink and also a little bit into the white. Now doing that from the off just means I'm going to have lots of different shades, and I'm just going to loosely tap that on. Like so. I'm going to take it about a third, and I'm trying to, it's so easy, it really is. Doesn't require much thought, which is great for me. And it's such a really clever effect and so simple to do. And then I'm going to twirl it around. I've got my orange, and again I'm going to add some white to the orange. I could put a bit too much paint out on my map, but hey ho, it will not get wasted. It'll get added to a background in one of my journals or something. So for this, for it again to be a much more natural transition, I'm actually taking the orange paint over the pink a little bit. I'm trying to think about my shaping, and I'm just going to bring that down, like so. And finally I've got another set of cotton buds, my yellow. Got slightly fewer together here. Now these have actually had 3 or 4 uses, these, so if you do this technique, once you're done, don't throw them away, just stash them away safe somewhere with your brushes or something or other, and you can use them again. But really quickly, with not a huge amount of skill level, which is always good for me, we have managed to create a really funky little rainbow tree. I don't think I've got quite enough white. I'm just going to, beginning to get a bit heavy-handed now, so I'm going to have to just stop. Now on this one here, I'll pull it back in. My original, this is my original. And then I actually filmed it, and when I filmed it I made this one. But then when I played it back, the sound quality was dreadful. I hadn't connected up the microphone properly, and it was picking up the camera, so all you heard was this kind of zzz of the camera, which wasn't pleasant. And my husband, who's really into photography, there was no way he would let me put that live. So when I actually did this one, when I was doing the edging, I actually messed up a little bit and kind of drew into the scene. So I just extended the tree at the top as well, and I actually much prefer the look of that than I did on my original one. So I'm just kind of going with that here, but that just shows, like, never get upset if something goes wrong, just look at how to try and fix it, and you will very often get happy accidents. Now, I'm going to stop there, because if I don't, I am going to end up with a much heavier feel. I think this one ended up with a lighter feel, which is why I've got it there for display. But that is me got my tree. It's so easy. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this away and let that dry. And again, I'm going to do a little bit more stamping. So I'm just going to pull in my card here. Okay, and again, I'm going to use the tall and spiky from Polkadoodles. And I've got this really funky looking flower. I'm using that word a lot, aren't I? Okay. I start before I start filming, and I'm probably more organised than I have ever been in my life when it comes to crafting. I think I normally spend half my time looking for what I'm needing. So I have all around me, which is very unusual, and I was still looking around trying to see where I put my ink pad. So I've used a Stays On ink pad just to do that, because I've just realised how far to the side of the screen I am. That's not going to make good viewing, so I'll just pull that back in. I do have my camera attached to my iPad, so I can actually see what's happening, but I'm still kind of forgetting to look at it. I noticed last time that you saw the top of my head a bit too much, so I'm trying to be a little bit more aware of that, and not do that quite so much. Okay, so I am going to bring in my Ecoline Pens here and do a little bit of watercolouring on this flower. So I'm just going to take some pink, that's 337, a little bit of yellow, which is 233, and a little bit of this teal blue, which is 602. Like I said in the video, last video, it's like not to stress about watercolouring, especially when you're doing flowers. Let the water do its thing. I think that's what gives it that beautiful watercolour-y feel, is not stressing too much, not trying to get it perfect, and just let the watercolour do its thing. If you put water down, the only place the pigment will go is where the water is. I think sometimes if you stress too much about getting it right, that's where you maybe get that, oh, my watercolouring doesn't look like yours. I'm by no means an expert. I'm still learning. Our Nikki from Polkadoodles is amazing. I've watched loads of her stuff, so if you ever get a chance to watch her, which is quite often on Hachanda, you can see that. And she's also got her own channel, so it's worth checking that out. So I'm just adding a little bit of pink to that. As I said, it's got the movement itself. It means each flower that you do will automatically look different, and that is really good when it comes to like little flower embellishments and things like that, because it's not going to look too contrived. Now, because normally when I do this, I would stamp a whole sheet of them and I would colour all the pink bits and then come back and do all the stalks a bit later, so it just gives it a little bit of a chance to dry. But for the purpose of filming, I am not doing that today. So the way I like to do my greens of my stems is to add water and add a little bit of teal and a little bit of yellow. And then you get all the colourways. You get the range from the deep greens to the lime greens to the yellows just by doing that. And you're not trying to place lots of colour and think about everything, so it gives it a really natural movement. I'm actually going to add a little bit of yellow to this, because the way I've put the water on there, it's not giving me the huge amount of tonal value. That's fine, just put it in. But I think just letting the water do its thing, that's what gives it that really washy look, which I think is really, really pretty for that sort of idea. So that I'll leave that to dry and bring my little scene back in. Okay, I'm just going to wipe that up so I can lean this on here, because I'm going to do a little bit more stamping on this. Okay, so I'm going to use the same stamp that I used to create the little tree, and this time I am going to, sorry, we need to learn to speak more fluidly. I am going to create sort of little flowers and branches at the bottom. So this time I'm just using it as it was intended, straight. And I am just going to stamp a couple of little bits, just to create a little bit of foreground for our little giraffe to sit on. He's so cute. Can't wait to show you him, although you can kind of see it on the card, but you know. Okay. So that's me done that, and then I will get my second stamp set that I'm using today, which is having a giraffe, and it's this one here. If I show you the actual packaging, you can see it better. It's such a lovely set. I love those clouds as well. I love cloud stamps. Brilliant. So it's gorgeous, gorgeous stamp set. So I'm going to take the little flower first of all, and I am just going to kind of stamp that near where I have put my little branches. So I'm just kind of randomly going to put a few there. Okay. Normally you take your ink to your stamp, but because it's just a tiny stamp, and also because I'm trying to do a lot of little images quickly, I'm not bothering. I'm just doing it the other way around. And I also want to give those a little bit of quick colour. I've just wiped my pink away, so don't do that normally. So it's because I'm working on, I normally work on my glass mat, and I just do everything on that. It gets so filthy, it's ridiculous. I just cleaned it the other day and it had all sorts on it. Gel mediums, pin flare glue, all sorts of stuff. Now I normally prefer going wet on wet, but I've not done that here. But to be honest, these aren't really a focal point, so they're just kind of giving that impression of a little scene, that we're in a quirky forest with rainbow trees for a little giraffe to sit under. I'm sure that's happy food. I think the rainbow tree is happy food, is it? Like our chocolate. Who knows? Sorry, my head is a strange place. Sometimes I get absorbed in these little imaginary worlds that I'm creating. I kind of ran out of the pink there, but hey ho, it's fine, that looks good. Okay, then I'm going to get the little sentiment. I love this sentiment, it's so quirky. So it's like, hope you're having a giraffe. Love it. I like quirky sentiments on cards. I do. I think it's just a bit nicer than best wishes, or maybe it's because I'm a quirky person, who knows. So I'm just going to pull this so that you can still see it in my giraffes there. And stamping that. Okay. So it's kind of bled a little bit in there, mostly because I've probably not let the yellow paint dry too much, but that's okay. We can bring that back with the wonders of white pen and a little bit of doodling. I'm also going to take this little cute birdie and stamp him just above my little sentiment. Give the giraffe a friend. Okay, now I overzealously cleared up my colours, which maybe wasn't the wisest idea, so I'll just put a few little colours back down. And very quickly I'm going to paint in this little bird. Again, just adding the water. And I'm going to put in some of that teal. It doesn't matter that he's over paint, it's just going to give him a few more different shades and tones. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow just into his wing there and create a little orange just by mixing the red, the pink and yellow together. Okay, I probably just used a bit too much water there. Dab that out. Okay, and I want to give him a little pink tummy. Just going to add a little bit of pink there. Okay, so he's got a few different shades and tones going on there, little quirky bird. And that's him there. And then what I am going to do as well is I will get my white Posca pen. I've stamped him over the yellow tree. His eye is now yellow, which is not great. It's not a good look. So we'll maybe do that. And I'm just going to try and there we go, add a little bit of space with my white pen there so that you can read that halving a little bit better. So I think that kind of works. Okay, so the next thing I am going to do is grab in my Pro marker and I'm just going to edge my card. So I just literally draw around it. This saves me from matting and layering. I used to do a lot of matting and layering. Sorry, I need to make sure I have this on the camera. I used to do a lot of matting and layering. It's very time consuming and it also makes the cards quite bulky. I think I'd like my bulkiness to come from other elements. So this is a very quick and lazy way to do it. The paint is still a bit damp, which is not ideal. I'm actually a Copic girl when it comes to markers, but I don't like my I'm a bit precious about them, so I don't like to do this with my Copic marker in case of anything out. So I do it with my Pro marker. Okay, now I also just want to create a little bit of falling blossom. So I'm going to grab a spare bit of card and just pop it over there, because what I don't want is for the blossom to be above the tree. I just want it to be below the tree. And I've got a bit of pink left. Add a bit more. Kind of lost it there. None of this pigment will get wasted. I will use the watercolour again, and as I said, the rest will go in my journal. So I'm just doing a few little pink splashes, which hopefully gives the idea of the blossom falling from the tree. I think that's one of the beautiful things about blossom. I'm also just, this little birdie's just looking a bit strange. I'm just going to draw in a wee cloud because his beak's kind of landed on the, there we go. Just kind of going to add in that little cloud. Okay, and then I also like to take a fine liner. Sorry, I keep noticing that I come off the screen. I'm probably saying that so many times that I'm annoying you. I will get better. This is only my second video, so I'm still learning, so I'm hoping that you will bear with me, and hopefully I will fine-tune all these little things and make things a little bit of a better viewing experience. Now I would normally draw over the tree as well, put a little line round that, kind of go in a little bit, but it's still that bit damp and I don't want to ruin my pen. But actually that's quite nice, quite like it like that. So I'm going to bring in George. Isn't he gorgeous? I love him. Love, love, love him. He's so cute, and I like to shape my animals a little bit, so I've just kind of bent him round. Now I've just pre-coloured this ready for doing the video. I'm not sure if it was something that you would want to see, because it does take a little bit of time to colour him in. So if it is something that you would have liked to have seen, then let me know in the comments below and I'll do a video just on that. But I just thought as part of this one it might make it far too long. I've only just started on YouTube and yet I am making slightly longer videos. I think it's because I prefer things in real time. I like to get to know the person behind the art when I'm watching, so that's why I've gone for that with my channel. So I'm hoping that you will like it too, that you'll continue to join me, so do like and subscribe. Okay, so I've added a little George in, and I'm just going to bring in these little flowers. The very first time I made the card, I just had it like that, and I just felt that it just looked a bit empty at the front. So I decided to add these cool little flowers in. I'm going to have that one going off the edge slightly because I quite like things sticking off the edge of my card. I think it makes it look more interesting. Also different from the things that you buy from the shops, because ones from the shops tend to, you know, stay within the frame. And I like to be different. Anyone that knows me knows that, you know, I like to be different. I would normally use Cosmic Shimmer for that, but it seems I have a bit of glue on my pokey tool. We'll just go with that. Little tip for pin flare. If you want to stop it from solidifying next time you use it, if you just create a little bubble like that before putting your cap back on, it means that little bubble is the bit that dries up, and you can just pick that off and your glue's fine underneath. Just discovered that after losing many tubes of pin flare glue to drying it up, but it is the best glue. I love it. Okay, so that's almost me. I was thinking there's something missing, and it's my little butterflies. Another dried up glue thing, so there's still a little bit remaining on. So these little butterflies also come in that Having a Giraffe stamp set. So I will just add those now. Okay, I have fussy cut these out because, you know, I like doing that. I have a beautiful Brother Scan & Cut. It makes a lovely ornament. Oh, I really need to get to grips with that. I'm not very good at sitting and learning something. I just want to play and get on with it. I'm going to move my giraffe over slightly. There we go. A bit too far over. That's the other good thing about pin flare. You've got a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so that, oh, not quite. Because I fussy cut this, I've lost the antennae. So I'm just going to quickly draw some in, because I wasn't going to. I can cut round them, but then I find they look too chunky, and they're such little delicate butterflies. I didn't want them to have great big huge chunky antennae, so I just chopped them off. But we've given them back. Okay, and so that is my finished card. There's the original, or the second one in, and there's the one that we've just done now. So I hope you enjoyed that video.